The idea of this flat being sold makes me want to scream like this. Ah! I feel like my head is going to pop off. That does give me an idea to do some pop art. Selfie. Ah! Here we go. I'll just print that out. Like a ninja. I've got some acetate back here. I'm going to lay that sheet over my photograph. And with a marker pen, draw my main facial features. Start my glasses. You need to use a permanent marker to draw onto acetate, otherwise your pen marks might smudge. Colouring in the glasses. There you go. Look at that. It's already looking really pop arty. To turn myself into pop art, I'm going to need some dots. So I'm going to use a hole punch to help me. A couple more. Just going to empty those dots out. Look at that. If I stick these red dots onto my acetate outline, I'll transform myself into a Roy Lichtenstein-inspired picture.
Wham! It's me, Roy Lichtenstein.
You scared me there, Roy.
I do like to pop art on people. Pop art, get it? I used thick outlines, bold colors, and I love drawing comic strips. I also use dots called Ben-Day dots based on printing techniques from the 19th century. My work looks like it was created by photographic reproduction, and my work itself continues to be reproduced and copied to this day.
So you won't mind if I make a homage to your work here then, Roy? Here's to you.
Hey!
Sorry, Roy. Okay, got some gridded paper under here. I'm going to put my acetate outline onto it. That will help me lay out my dots. Now I'm going to turn my acetate over so that when I put the dots on, I don't have to redraw the lines. And I'm going to angle it ever so slightly diagonally, because it's more in keeping with the way that Roy did his work. Now, start sticking them on. I'm using a cocktail stick because it can get a little bit fiddly. And it gives me a lot more control. And I'm positioning these dots 1 square unit of the grid paper apart. PVA glue is good because it dries transparent. The last dot done, quick peek. Now I'm going to move on to some painting. And I'm using some bright primary colours, just like Lichtenstein. A bit of red from the top. I've got some yellow, that's for my hair. And a bit of blue at the top of my shirt. Right, I'll start with the yellow. I'm using acrylic paint because it sticks better to acetate. Remember, I'm painting on the back here, so it doesn't matter if I go over the lines. Now a bit of blue for my shirt. You don't have to use paint, you could use coloured markers. Finally, some red. I'm painting the acetate on top of some white paper. It's just easy to see where I'm painting. I think that's done. Let's check it out. Time for another selfie. I look a bit dotty. Just print that out. Ninja skills. Well worth a frame. There you go, a perfect pop-art portrait. All that business with the diamond ring and the scary man has sent a shiver right down my spine. I really like, if I had an X-ray, I think you'd be able to see it. That gives me an idea for some art. Not so much an X-ray, maybe I can make my own version of a photogram picture. Don't worry, all will become clear. Let me just grab some interesting objects. Right, so I've got myself a watch, some headphones, a pen, some keys, an old phone charger, a banana, and some cool shades. I'm gonna get some nice coloured paper, and I'm gonna draw around these items. Start with yellow, and I'm gonna start by drawing around the banana, since I've got the yellow out. Now, a photogram is a form of art made popular by American artist Man Ray.
Did somebody call my name?
Hey, man.
Man Ray, to be precise.
I beg your pardon, Ray.
I'm actually appearing as a photogram, one of my favorite forms of art. It's a photo made without a camera. I put objects onto photographic paper and then expose them to light. It makes a negative shadow.
Now, would you mind disappearing into the shadows so I can have a go at making my own version?
It's becoming very transparent that I'm not needed here.
See you later, man. Ray. So Man Ray liked to call his photograms radiographs, but I'm going to have a go at my very own ricocraft. I'm not going to be using photographic paper though, so I'm going full colour. Cool, banana's done. I think I'm going to use this cable next. Now remember, you can draw around whatever you like. That's cool. Right, I'll move on to the green. The reason I'm using a mechanical pencil is because you can click the lead out, so it's a long, thin piece, and then use it to get in all the nooks and crannies on smaller items like keys. Once I've drawn all around these objects, I'm going to cut them out and make a picture that will cheer up even Man Ray. I'm going to start by cutting out the banana. There you go, nice banana cut out. Now you'll need to cut the rest out, but not me, because I'm a ninja. There we are, good stuff. Then grab myself a piece of black card, because it will give the colours great contrast and they'll really pop out. And now I'm going to arrange them into a composition that I'm happy with. This pen pointing back into the centre. Now I'm going to stick them down. This is looking good, but to finish it off, I'm going to give it a nice frame. Awesome! My very own ricocraft. Remember, when you do your photogram, you can use any colour and draw around any object you like. I'm going to grab an old coat hanger here. I'm just going to bend it out into a diamond shape, like that. Now I've got an old cereal box here, and I'm going to draw around that diamond shape. Then I'm going to cut that out. Using masking tape, just going to stick it all the way around on the inside of the coat hanger. I'm using the tape just to kind of soften off the cardboard into the hook at the bottom. There we are. Now I've taped it all the way around, I can bend it to create the wings of the manta ray. It will hold its shape. Now I've got some old yogurt pots, and these are going to become the eyes. But I'm going to chop them down a little bit, because at the moment they're a bit too tall. And I've left them slightly too tall, so I can cut some slots into them here to create some flaps so they're easier to stick to the top of the manta ray. Just going to stick them on with some masking tape. Now I'm going to cover it in a layer of paper mache. So I've got some newspaper here and some mix, 2 parts PVA, 1 part water. With a brush, just going to start pasting it on. Now I could wait for this to dry, but not me. I'm going to use my ninja skills. There we are. It's dried nice and hard, and I've given it an undercoat of white, so now it's ready for painting. I'm going to be using a sponge just to give it a nice texture. Starting with a light grey, I'm going to go back and do a darker grey around the edges and along the spine. Now I'm going to add the darker parts to the ray, and I'm going to use just the edge of my sponge there, so I can get a bit more control. Just need to leave that to dry, and I'll get ready some darker and lighter tones so I can add even more detail. A little bit there. And I'm going to use a much smaller brush, so I can just get in and do those nice little dots. I think that's looking really good. There's a lovely range of different dots on there, giving them a nice, realistic texture. Now with a black marker pen, Give it some eyes. There we go. I think my manta ray bat looks absolutely fantastic.